Hey guys, welcome back to Talk About It, where we take the conversation away from the celebrity, even though today we have a celebrity. It's Dash. But she said Dascha Polanco. Dascha Polanco, we're trying to retire that.
Not retiring, honey. We're keeping it.
We're keeping it. But she likes Dash as a nickname.
Yeah.
Yes. Why?
AKA Dash.
It's good. You like that.
Sure.
Why?
Cute.
It's cute, right? But
It's
I
like
just
a
want to know
dash
why.
Of light.
Yeah.
Because you see my light, right?
Yeah.
Right.
The lighting is so good. And then, of course,
Right.
we have Ebro Darden in the building.
Hello.
You know him from Apple and Hot 97 and Life. And then Marisa Mendez from Life. It's tremendous. And Joe Budden's podcast,
I'll name
this podcast later. I was going to say I'll talk about it later, but that would kind of be like a juxtaposition of our shows. And then I'm Gia Peppers, host of this. And you might
Not just I'm Gia Peppers.
Yeah.
I'm Gia Peppers.
I'm Gia Peppers.
We all are Gia Peppers.
And your name, I love it.
Thank you.
Gia Peppers.
My parents did a really good job. Hey,
Guess what her
Mom and
mom's
Dad.
name is?
What?
You ain't.
Say it.
Well,
Tell me my
no, I don't know if my mom wants to be associated with this.
All right, never
so
mind.
we're going to talk about it. My
Miss
mother's name.
Peppers.
What's up, Dr. Pepper?
Hey, bro. It's okay. It's a whole lot of Dr. Peppers out there and a soda. So today, we want to talk about journaling. It's crazy, right? Because a lot of people don't have a way to express their feelings. But women, we always keep a journal. Like, I literally have my journal right here.
You think it's universal?
Women?
That women...
No, not a lot. I feel like a lot of women keep journals. I don't feel like, or at one point in their life, they did write something. And they might have been, even if they're super expressive on Twitter, Instagram, in their captions or something like that, women are just more expressive than men. And we all notice in Ebro, you were talking about this, men don't have the same outlets. So today we wanted to dive into just opening up the conversation of, for men, how are we going to get y'all to express? Because it's really annoying at this point.
And that's why I asked about journals. You know, I don't think a lot of dudes, men in general, they might communicate with their boys, depends. They may communicate with, like, sister, maybe a family member, right? Like your brother maybe talks to you, right? Mm-hmm. But I had a theory that I think that's why a lot of dudes want to rap, especially if you know, young, in the hood, whatever your scenario is, you don't have anybody to talk to, and like women keep journals. Yeah. They write everything down, or they have their girlfriends, et cetera, et cetera. And it kind of dawned on me the other day because some women were talking about how they used to keep a journal and now they kind of just go to brunch with their girls and they talk about what's going on, et cetera, et cetera. And it dawned on me in a moment that I think that's why a lot of young men want to rhyme, because they can fantasize, romanticize, be frustrated, be someone that they may never think they have the ability to be, and they can live that kind of out through rap music, right? And they don't want to say, "Oh, I like to write poetry," because that looks, you know.
But Wale says he likes to write poetry.
But the question comes in.
Any rapper is writing poetry.
Yeah, but the question is, there's songs out there, is that really like journal material? Is that really expressing your emotions? Because I know that there's a lot of rap music that really...
It's just like pour some lean in my cup.
Yeah, and I don't think that's something...
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's some shit that is just, like I said, fantasy, right? I want to get high.
I feel like
I want to party. I want to fuck. I want to... You know what I mean? These are just thoughts that you have while you're sitting around doing whatever it is you're doing, right?
Your Diamonds Dancing.
Right, but then you love Diamonds Dancing?
I like that album. The album is fire.
What a time to be alive.
Because I'm the plug.
That's crazy. I think that, but I think that for men, like, I know that in the relationships that I've been in, they're like, a lot of sports players, and they turn to one thing and they just count on that to like get all their frustrations out. And then the problem is, you meet a lot of guys who are like, let's say they play college ball or high school ball, and then that's taken away from them, and then they really don't know how to deal with, okay, I have the dream that I thought, the dream that I thought that I was able to move away from every single emotion that was bothering me. I haven't seen my dad in 5 years. Like every single emotion that was bothering me is now I have to deal with it. And so I think it's a good thing to keep a journal. I think for women, I know it's not a manly thing, but I think for women, it's easier for us because we're like, all right, girl.
So let's discuss what are the pros of keeping a journal? Right?
Get it all out.
You get it all out.
Like you see everything.
Well, I think when you see it, it's like you put it out there, and now you can make a You can analyze it. You can look at your words and say, I don't like that.
I didn't make that decision.
Or even like 2 days later when you were really upset when you wrote it, and
Yes.
you go back and you say, okay, what was my exact source of anger? And a lot of times too, when I'm really stressed out, I'll do that. I'll make a list of like, what exactly am I stressed out about? Like, why am I stressed? And I'll just write it down and then write down how I can fix each thing, and it really like calms me.
But dude, I'll be honest. I've never written in a journal, but mostly because I've been on the radio since I was 15 years old. I played football before that, and I was playing football while I was on the radio. So I could just say what I was feeling or what I thought, or I can talk about women I thought were hot, or things that I want to do at a certain point, or et cetera, et cetera. So I never kept a journal. I'm definitely not the guy who's gonna sit down and write every
But
night.
there's also a negative stigma to it.
And why?
Boys
I'm just
don't
not
write.
that guy.
Boys
Like,
don't have a diary.
no, like I used to win awards for creative writing. Like which is really just bullshitting. You know what I mean? Like
Shout
they
out
used to
to
give you
creative
grades.
writing.
They'd be like, creative writing, make up a story. Be like, oh, bullshit. Like it's easy. But I believe that men, because of the machismo kind of male attitude in society, that's why men need so many role models. They need, I'm 40. Like I meet a 15-year-old kid right now who's talking to me about his fantasies and what he wants to do. He has somebody in me that I can say, okay, well, it's cool that you feel that way. Like, that's okay. Like, some men don't have that person. Their friends aren't there. Maybe their fathers aren't there. Maybe their brothers aren't there, right? Depending on the circumstances.
Have a brother, yeah.
They're talking to a woman and kind of feel like, well, you're a woman. You don't really understand what I'm going through, right? Young boys, when they're going through their hormonal changes and they're discovering their bodies, like, it's seen as gross. Like, socially, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about how, like, at 11, 12 years old, boys are feeling things and thinking things, and the women in their age group are running around like, what the fuck is going on with you? And even your mother and maybe, whoever you're around are saying like, yo, hey, yo. And some men, that experience makes them sexual deviants, which is, I believe, why we have some of the problems we have in society is because men went through this rejection, going in through puberty of saying, I feel this way about this girl, right, or whatever. I've asked her and the girl rejected them, and they didn't know that was kind of a part of becoming a man, is that you're going to take some losses when you really like a girl. You're going to go out there, put yourself on a limb. You're going to tell this girl who's in your class or ask her to a dance how you really feel about her, and she's going to be like, yeah, nah. And you just got to be like, and then you don't have another man to talk to. Like, socially, men don't have magazines where you talk about rejection or you talk about,
What's in
GQ articles and
yeah,
shit.
like I was just gonna
But
like
what's in GQ?
But GQ is for like
about
the advanced, like older man that's already out doing his things. It's
That
not
has
for the
a whole bunch of
12-year-old
muscles
boy.
on it.
I
that's
feel
still
you,
trying to
but
learn
I
his
was
feelings.
12 reading like Essence and Ebony. Like I always wanted to be.
I read
I was a
Cosmo
little
and-
bit.
Nobody read YM. Or
Oh,
was that-
YM and
Yeah,
Bob.
bring it
and
back,
all that
whatever.
stuff.
But a lot of those magazines, like I remember being young and they had the little magazine. I thought they was for girls.
They
like
are.
that's not for me. I'm not
Well,
reading
because
this little
that's
magazine.
socially constructed. Obviously, everything is gender roles and it's socially
Right.
constructed.
So, but and my point in this is men don't have that. Men
So maybe
don't,
we need to start promoting that. That journals need to be put in place.
Or
Or
therapy, because
just
I really
outlets.
advocate therapy too.
Yeah.
I think that's so
Therapy is
important.
good, but not everybody could afford therapy.
Yeah.
Talk about it
That's
because you can
another
get
thing.
$400
And
an
Medicaid
hour,
doesn't cover
it's
it.
crazy.
You know?
It's crazy how
depending
they
on the
charge that
therapist,
stuff.
or maybe just allowing your friends to be open enough to say, "Bruh,
But then
today
you're changing
I
people.
failed."
But then you're changing people.
Yeah.
People, but I'm
you
just
can
saying
change
you
a
should-
habit. You could change behavior. You can implement behavior, but you can't change a person.
I don't know. I have a lot of male friends who are like my best male friends from DC are collective. Like they roll as 8. They do everything as 8. Like they've grown up since they were 5, been friends, and they talk about stuff like that from what I know. And I think it's healthy for men to have
Yes, it
men
is.
that are like,
dialogue needs
you
to be
crazy. Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, like I can go to my best friends and be like, girl, and be like, I got it. We got it. I'm coming home, I'm going to cry all day. And they're going to
But
be
you
like,
know,
yes, let's do it.
There comes
It's
a
fun.
point, though, can you really say everything you... Because this is why I love a journal. Because a journal, you can say, I
Everything.
feel like I can't breathe. I feel like I really hate this person. I feel like this person, is whatever.
Yes,
They're
or
crap.
Like when you're going through like a breakup or
Yeah,
something,
or-
and like you
or
feel
I
like you've
really did
exhausted
that.
your friends.
Exactly.
You don't wanna hear you
There's a
anymore.
problem because people, you kind of, when you sometimes voice what you're really feeling,
Yeah.
you're risking yourself to be judged,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
to get people's opinions, to be.
And don't be a celebrity and feel something.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I think a journal.
Dash.
Yeah.
We don't know about that. You talking about that.
But you have to censor yourself all the time, and it's not healthy to not be able to say, I don't like when you say this. I feel like I am better than you. There's so many things that you can really say, even though people say that's harsh. You can actually just voice anything you want on that piece of paper, and later on reflect and say, nobody's judging me, nobody's giving me their opinion, it's just how I felt at that very moment. I can analyze, I can grow from it. There's so much there that you can work on and build yourself and change and evolve from. When you internalize thoughts, it becomes unhealthy also.
Tell us about the story about how your journal
I was in
got
11th
out.
grade, and I had a house party while my parents were gone, and stuff got stolen. And I used to leave my journal on my bed because my family was cool. They don't care about that kind of stuff. But they needed to know what happened, and they knew my dumb ass writes everything I ever do in that journal. Took the journal. My mom gave it to my father. He didn't live with us at the time, but, he came in for this special operation. He made copies of my journal, called my friends' parents, handed them out to each of my friends' parents, and then when it came to each of their child, he had the parents read aloud whatever sexual act their daughter engaged in.
So you were 11?
No, I was in 11th grade.
11th grade.
So I was 16. So
Okay.
we were just
You was out
getting
here.
into
Yeah,
it.
like
And then my
that.
dad made a spreadsheet, and it had every person's name mentioned in the thing and their potential, association, what they did. Like, so-and-so bought liquor from minors, and then, if he knew what town they lived in. Like, what
What
was
does
the
your
point of
father
that? He's a salesman. Like, I don't even know
Oh,
why.
wow. I thought he was in the
like a
army or
GI
something.
And then, he's giving us a speech, not only were you robbed of jewelry and money, but you were robbed of trust, dignity, and respect. And then it was just, then the guy that I talked about me, called my cell phone in the middle of his speech, and he answered the phone, thanking him for making love to
Timing.
his daughter.
Oh my God!
So, needless to say, I did not keep a journal after that moment in my life. But I still believe that you should keep one.
So what do you do now?
I blog. Now I'm a blogger, and now I get to write my opinions on everything and anything and relate
Life is
my
tremendous.
life story to whatever I'm writing about. I talk on the podcast every week about what I'm going through, my stupid stuff. And I have girlfriends that, are the most non-judgmental women in the world, and we've created a dialogue between us where we're not going to be judged no matter what we are going through. So
I admire bloggers. I respect you for that. I commend you.
I think
really
you're the
do.
only celebrity that has ever said that.
No, it takes a lot of work for you to emotionally and time and just
time.
invest in writing and stating, and not only that, but the backlash that you get from
yes.
it,
Girl.
I wouldn't do it because I would not be able to handle the backlash, even at this point where I have to learn. It's something that I have to learn because of what I do. I respect you, honey.
Thank you.
Men like Ebro who said, I'm not going to write in a journal. Really, we can't solve how
But
men
it's mostly
feel.
because of laziness. Let's just be 100.
That's what I was
It's mostly
saying.
lazy. It's not because I don't want to write. It's just mostly I'd rather be doing something
Rather
else.
play
So I guess
dominoes.
have a person.
And as a young person, you don't understand the repercussions of not being able to express.
That's what I'm saying. Have a
Right?
person
Like, you
can
don't
go to.
know as a 16, 17-year-old that something happens to you, you don't like it, you kind of just stockpile
But why?
all this shit. Why don't you understand that?
Yeah, why?
Probably
Because it's
nobody's
socially
told you.
constructed.
Well, I
And
don't
even
know.
in school,
Yeah, I think that too.
Girls keep. You see it even when you go to the store. There's a diary. There's
For
a
the
pink
girls,
diary
yeah.
for the
Yeah, pink
girls.
and
Everything
glittery
is
and-
gender specific,
And
and that is why.
And then when we grow up and get in relationships, we're like, why can't you talk to me?
And that's when
you
they
don't like
realize,
me. And then
yeah.
it's like, no, I really just don't know how to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's really
Why can you
what
text a longer paragraph? People get mad at me because I'm a okay, TTY, cool, yeah. Because I don't like writing long paragraphs. Men do the same, so I feel like I'm probably I have men like male behavior.
But you talk like you're speaking the way that I've always seen you, and even as being an actress, you have to be able to express yourself on different levels at the drop of a dime. So I feel like you might not be a good texter, but you're definitely
I'm not a
good,
good texter. Okay,
at being emotional, and you know what I'm saying. So
I'm
I
definitely
think,
good at that.
I think that I wish I could say like what to. I wish I could offer like a, guideline, but I feel like everybody should just have a person that they can be like.
You need a person.
I'm a good talker.
Mentor
I
or
just
something.
I ain't got time to be right now. But now you have Twitter, doesn't that count? Can we just go through my tweets?
I
Twitter
do
has 150
tweet.
characters.
That's all I
My
got.
diary and my feelings.
That's like 2 sentences.
At Gia Peppers.
I
if you
can't
guys
do
don't
it.
know.
I
I
can't
can't
do
because
Twitter.
people dissect what I say and then it ends up on a message board like she's tweeting about such and such.
Yes, because
So
you
I
have
don't
so many
do that.
followers.
That's
why.
not the same. You see,
Well,
you're going
and
back to
you be out here
technology.
thotting.
I don't think no. That's
You gotta
let's
thought
keep
a
this a
little bit.
positive interview. I don't do that.
It's not an interview.
I mean, whatever.
Ebro,
it is,
you're
keep it
changing.
positive.
Hold on, you're changing the conversation. You're gonna write on the
Exactly.
journal what we're gonna do a trial experiment or what?
Fine.
Thank you.
Pinky promise?
No.
Can we buy you
Ain't
The
doing
key
it.
We're
to
gonna buy you a
success.
journal.
Journal.
Okay.
We're gonna make it sports related.
All right.
Your
Can I do
team-
voice notes in my phone?
That's even. You could do that.
Oh, it's so lit.
But that's the same shit. That's like you on the radio.
Exactly. This has been Talk About It. Thanks for coming.